France. Yeah, no problem. Huh? No problem. I had this one. I just complain.
Zoom is nothing. With some president and that's what they're trying to do.
Also, your home. That I just put the phone. They are changing this.
You understand it?
Batito mu ruhanga bishop abenshi kanisa mere n'abantu mwe n'abayaha kandi ari umucogo wo kurangiza abizaba nyine MC kandi umuzira leta yuko nzagaraganya mbakira mwena ubwiza nimwe bari munonga n'abari batihana bitugwereye uhanga abongere miki ati programu yitu ntiza kutandukana ekanisa neza kore migenzo yayo kubera yaheze ekanisa ryahwa ntiza kutunga speeches ahabwa ejembe ritu rume ya covid turukwija kwituzura kahakina kubyuka konka bishopu n'eziyo y'ekanisa nibeza kuzaho nitukoreraho imigenzo yo kubyuka then twaheza ntuza ntusitama rero bwa nyuma aba Uganda Funeral Services nibeza kutwaraho nubarije kubyuka tutariho konka ntuje kuba turi atushitami Nizo muna speech date zabo sana. Mwe bari munonga, mwe bari kwiza. So na nitabe kanisa kuza tandike mukore yabo. Mwe bari munonga.
Naza kubasaba Communication and analysis is on page 6 in 192. umutoni wa Yesu start the service.
ninye kusohoka n'amagara urukunkiza n'ubuyakora buhurire n'omuntu weena oruhurire kandi ubwo rukunkiriza tarufeero ryona nimanya ko omucunguzi wanje abaho kandi kabyemerera ahansi aha muheru ombero bwanje ko buraba bwamaze kubaho butyo bwanyuma ndyareba arahanga ntagwine obundi ereba aranyenka ebisho byange bitabyo ndijo tukamwitegereza tukararetse ekintu munsi kandi turikubaasa kwihamu kintu mukama kampa mbwena binyireho izina rya mukama risiimwe tatushemerwe zaburi egiya 23 Psalm 23.
Cyaga kusomerwa rizo Zaburi ya 23 umuntu aganira arapaparwa rukaga n'itanu mukama okuwumulisa w'abantu be Zaburi ya Daudi mukama nuwo mulisa wanje kindi cyane cyitona ambyamya umwirisize bw'ubunyasi buto antwara ahantu rw'amizi agarusherereka agaramani umagara ganje anyerembera umuhanda yo gukirira ahabwa izina rye n'ubundi raba umuruhanga rwo kubunda cyo kupfa kindi tina karukondo ahabwo kuba uri hamwe nanjye uruga rwawe n'inkoni yawe bimpumuza unterekanusize neza urumisho rw'abazigu banjye unshuka amajuta aha mutwe ikikoko cyanjye cyuzuye nikishesheka ubuzimazima burundu n'imbabazi biryagumananye ibiro byone by'amagara ganjye nanye ndyaguma umuntu yamukama ibiro n'ibiro
katugandira muri kigirisa cyabo n'umwana n'umutwera
ndacyabihe igihutanka nahate mutekeri kandi mutekereho amen
mushikame basomere ikigega cyo kubanza n'icya kabiri.
Reading is from the book of 1 Reminiscences, chapter 4, verse 13 to 18. Brothers, we do not want you to be ignorant about those who fall asleep, or to grieve like the rest of men. We have no hope, who have no hope. We believe that Jesus died and rose again, and we believe that God will bring Jesus, those who have fallen asleep in him. According to the Lord's own word, we tell you that we who are still alive, who are left till the coming of the Lord, we certainly not precede those who are fallen asleep. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of an angel, and the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds, meet the Lord in the air, and so will be with the Lord forever. Therefore, encourage each other with these words. And the second reading from 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses to 8. For I'm already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time has come for my departure. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed to hear me. This is the end of the second reading.
Mwanikize ndarudi chobu sinaranga kandi twakirana bichapano chashanimwe ekamsa yapasorora kandi kusaba yuko ni oganya kadini aho kwengwa mwana witu mtu wetu na kwata humunonga wishimwe kusofa gakara aho wetu tujopangara na nke kamsa uko kumanya kukuri abantu bakabe barvo bindi munonga aho wetu umkantu shabani mukwatanisa yo twadrum chamhango munonga twadiraha tateto mu ruhanga bishop na mama kandi bishop mwakuja kumurisa. Now we to as we prepare to hear from him, we shall stand up and sing the tension related to the Ngotambinga Amushani. It is on page 7. Tena kati emelete shongwe tu utampingura musuni ni kutachara ko ataya irabandi nani utansaga utampingura musuni ni kutachira ataya irabandi nani utansaga Yesu, Yesu mujuni nikutajira orataya irabandi nanyotansi onyirize bahina Bebe babasi Nzemira majoni ntonzia Koku kwesiga Yesu Yesu mujoni Nikutajira Orataya irabandi nanyotansi inina diso musoni okuyawiwe ndamirani nobuso Sonsasi Yesu Yesu mujuni nikutatira kurataya irawa abandi nanyotansika niwe Chirira magara ompo usinde inina matikoga likureka Yesu Yesu mujuni Let us pray as we are. Mukama, twine gandi matso, kandi ubona ko Mukama ntitwetenga mu makaga ga Kagunga, ntitwetenga mu makaga ga Mary n'abana, ntitwetenga mu makaga gaitu, ntitwetenga mu mihanga gaitu, ayi Mukama. Ngwino ushuma utakasigaho utatihingura kureka tushikeho kandi twumurize mu izina ryawe Tata n'Umwana n'Umutima wera. Amina. Ibigambo by'ukwisha kubagana n'imwe kuko ntabigambiraho ngo mu Psalms 23 haza ninyesha kuberenga munonga narokutsimba akati ahanyaje urwa kashatu n'urwa kana. Kunka Psalms 23 is written by David, and there is assurance that this is not a collection of like other psalms of Korah and other worshippers in Israel. But David himself, he had gone through many challenging circumstances
Probably, if we relate our situation today in Kagunga, in Uganda, in the entire world, we still can see how dangerous it was. That brought out the mind of David to see who was the master, the creator, and the protector. And him, he did not see it otherwise, that he called him the rightful shepherd. The shepherd who cares, the shepherd that takes us, that feeds us, that sees us in good health and in poor health, and even in circumstances that are bad. A shepherd, in the language of those that were shepherds, like we see when our Lord was born, the shepherds came out singing, praising God for the great miracle, the great news the Lord had done for the people on earth. And they came through praising God for the birth of Jesus. Now the shepherds have a concern. They are concerned with the sheep, with those that are given into their care, is that they feed them, they take care of them. When they are lost, they gather them back into the sheepfold. When they have lost the direction, they are brought back into right direction. When their relationship is going wild, they bring them back. The shepherds take care, feed, take the animals to drink. They mind their animals when they are thirsty, when they are hungry, and so God is our shepherd. David sees God as the whole for the whole creation, that he takes our life in control. So he says, we shall not be dismayed, we shall not wander away, we shall not lose hope, because we have our shepherd. For those who are at home, I brought you the picture of Billy Graham writing in the Hope for Each Day, and he brings out a child whose father was a pilot, a chief pilot. And when this young child was moving across Atlantic with his father in a plane, he slept, she slept. When she slept, the plane went into turmoil with weather, and there was chaos, and everybody was alerted like they do alert people on the plane when there is waves and turmoil in weather. And this girl, when they came to her to see whether her belt was fastened and she was to be made awake, they, having woken her up, they told her, we are in trouble. Don't you mind? Get up, sit, fasten your belt. And she asked them and said, is my dad in control? And they said, yes, your dad is on the controls. And so, she didn't mind. She just pulled her blanket and went back to sleep. And she said, I don't care. I don't mind any trouble, as long as my dad is in control. I was looking at it as the real faith that we need to have in this God who is our shepherd, who takes care of us not only when we are to be fed or to get to drink or to be tethered properly, but who cares for us when we are even in such a situation. Verse 4. Verse 4, he says, no wonder a woman and which would I took from. Even though I pass through the valley of death, or the valley of the shadow of death, I shall not fear. Why? Because God, my shepherd, God, our Father, will be with me. Recently, I was having some readings in the Bible, and I found interesting art in knowing the presence of God, who is always with us. God enshrines us, God enfolds us, God's presence is with us, whether we are at work, whether we are at home, whether we are in such a situation, in a bereaved situation like this, when we have lost our dear ones, those that we love, when we have lost our daddies, when we have lost our mummies, when we have lost those that love us and those that we love. God still is present with us. And in that presence, once you discover that God is present with you in such a situation, then you have all the chances to rejoice and feel encouraged, feel lifted up from such a moment, such a situation, such a crisis, and you trust fully that God, once He is present, He is in full control. This daughter of a pilot did not mind at all, because when they told her that the father was in controls, then she relaxed. She knew her dad was an expert pilot, and that would take care to make sure the plane will eventually cool down, calm down, and the situation will be overcome. May I call upon you all. May I entrust you all. May I raise your hearts all to God's hands, to God's caring hands. May I ask Maria to always trust God that He will come and His presence is here, and that He will always lift you up, encourage you, enable you, meet you at the points of your need. And our God is always present wherever we are. And when David realized this, he said in Psalms 23, verse 4, when he realized that He is even with him in death and cannot leave him, then he said he will not fear. He dismissed all the fears, all the anxieties, all the pressures and problems that would be encountered. And this time, he uses a language of worship and says in verse 6, now that God is always with me, even in such circumstances, he said then his obulungi n'embabazi biryaguma nanye. Therefore, nanye tindiruga mu nju ya Mukama. I want to pray that God will always give you the comfort, give you all that you need, and in bad times and good times, and that He will always be there to show that He is present with you. May He give you that peace of mind. May He enfold your minds in Him and take care of you. And may He bring new life, new hope in you as a family, in you as a mother or mother, in you as the caretaker now that Topher is gone, and you handle the mantle, and you handle it very well, and He will bless you and keep you strong. May He be there with you all the time to strengthen you, to lift your spirit and your heart up to Him, and that He will always strengthen you and we will reward you. Thank you so much for listening, and I pray that you will be there for us today and on. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you. We know you are present with us here. And we know we can't doubt because you tell us even in your word. You affirm through this Psalms 23, even through the valley of the shadow of death, you point to us that you will be with us. Be with Maria, be with the children, be with this family, the entire family. Bless us, Lord, in your strength and your presence. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
nabanindira ngo tukusima mahanga gukoresha umuyobozi mureke reka sigi tukendereza tukwerekana ko bahanga singa munonga ukuti tendereza Yesu Yesu mwana wandiga Mosayi yegunazisa nebaza omurakozi ubutumwa bukorwa aha gasasa bisokoke rozwanda eno paparamzi yaneza kuba yahaneke konka uyaza kuza kuzika rozwanda kano mugodisiro tubune nawe wetu akabira hamwe nimwe konka nasasara hamwe nimwe mwena techaza kukora tamu ntiza kukaningo watuma stop ceremonies konka ntiza kweshongere rero banyuma hano ho mukorogo kabo muri rero banyuma stop ceremonies ari mu iyo cyeshongere ryo nukono ya Yesu rero banyuma stop ceremonies atuganira ko kuza abagabo Yesu Kahirita ekitwaza kulazaho okuna n'abaganire bishopu n'abekanisa na mere na famire baza kuza abakina bari concentrating mere na famire bari kubikina kimwe then abandi bikiza kuzayo mukora ibyo bita resiperi bizeyo nibwo tunaje muri muri benshi bashaka hasi bicaye so bishopu ni cyabaswe
Kanda turajire naku amera kanda tunantu kala tu amutu Mentura nuha kureka mukama abo bende kuzi noshinga konkani kama hanga okwera munonga ai mukama usozuna ai mukama yitorkero noziniji utakeni kuko kunguliru mukama witu na maneno maneno mukama witu Nakuita katika wajina wazi kama kuko wakitu kuko kasiri mukama kwera munonga uhangosha mzungona umuzunor kwera kamero wazi umutuma njushi lekado tawo ukaticheka kurbaho umbura kubokshwa ahanero mubaro
umwanya mukama guwayirize abakumurizamu omubiri g'umwiru wawe Kristoka wataraka Kahirita n'umuntu twese mu izina rya Data n'Umwana n'Umutima Wera kandi ubereze cy'umutumbi ukuguma nakumanya nagumana iwe kuko ari imikono yawe humuriza amakage gumane itwe Kristo mukama wetu. Amen.
Oh,
n'avaawo nze bwe ŋŋendayo mujjawo oyo omusajja kati bavuddewo beerawo ng'obagamba no yalayo soke bateesa
This one's coming. Everyone out. Have you given those?
Yeah. Bakisimula wansi awo wawa.
Once again, on behalf of the Kahirita family, on behalf of the Newton family, I welcome you all to come to Libya. Sana mama, wewe ni mwende kumbe. Na wewe mwende kwa Kampala. Niwe na ingine mkobo. Na kama lebo mwanga. Na tumeti na wangu na wewe. Wewe ni mwende kumbe. Thank you so much for coming. Be with us. Now we are starting the favorite speeches. We have a few speeches, 5 speeches only. Then along the way there's so many messages. There are with Samiri. Samiri, you're wrong. I'll call him anyway along the way to come and read the messages. We may not read all the messages in full because there are many. So some of them will be mentioning names so that people are seen the messages. I, for one, have 3 messages. One from Joseph Wakanda, Justin Wakova, and another one from David Munguza. They're sending their condolences to Mary and the family. So our first speech will be from Mr. Oko, a brother to Kofa, a friend, and he'll be representing all friends. Oko and Kofa have been together for 46 years. Yeah, 46 years. That's how close they've been. So, Oko, please come.
Excuse me. I would wish that sometimes the money, but whatever, not all the meeting stuff. Because sometimes you the audience quite a monga.
Thank you, MC.
Let me see. I'm live.
The church, Mary, and the children, and all of you who have prayed all the circumstances to come here. You accept that it's very difficult for me to talk very fluently at this moment. Why? When we were still in our times, we used to say, you must make a speech on my last day. And he used to tell me, I'll make you as pastor. He used to tell me, now it has come to fruition that I'm making mine first. I was being told to be brief. I want to beg your indulgence. But I say all I wanted to say. First met Kofa in Entebbe, 1977. But I joined Entebbe in 1976 as a young civil servant. But my contact with him in 1977, and by then he was driving his own car as a taxi. The story behind it is for another day. And we became friends. Mother Mary here says, at that time I was like Samuel. If you look at Samuel, that was my size. Samuel was slightly even bigger. I was very thin. But Mary used to give us food. And I was a bachelor. Mary used to give us food. Then 1978, September 23rd, I wedded in Entebbe, and he was there. That's when he met my maternal uncle, who was representing my dad in the role. From that day, the two of them have been very, very close friends.
And uncle now in Tororo, then last night he told me to express, and he's cursing the disease. Why? Because he will be here himself. He sends his sincere condolences. I also have, from that time, a special space in the heart of Mzee Geoffrey. And when we first came to Karushonga, me and my wife, he bought us very big mugs for milk. Those mugs, when he realized we were not coming very often, he sent them to us in David. Mzee Geoffrey has been, I don't want to call him father, he's like my creator. And every time I come here, Abba is Empire, I don't know what empire is, but I saw a goat. A he-goat. I have always had a he-goat from Sir Geoffrey. And when he came to Entebbe, we would also treat him really very well. When he was still okay, he would come by bus, and we go to the bus terminal to pick him. We were so close that when Tofa was not feeling very well, I took him myself to Sir Geoffrey to the hospital. And the hospital staff were surprised. But I said, no, this is our father. That is how deep we are. But that relationship did not only remain with Tofa. Even Michael, Charles, the other, the whole family, and they come, all loved us. So it is not the Kahirita Obo family, it is the Obo and all the Kahiritas, the Kamu, the Makoboya family. I wrote a speech when he was celebrating 80 years and 50 years of their marriage. He told me that many people read these speeches when you are lying there, but you have read yours when I'm still here. I gave him a copy. He said, I want a copy. Now, I beg your indulgence that I read it again. Although I had read it, it is not long. I read it, and it says everything about Kahirita. One thing which is not in the speech is the character of Kahirita. Nobody should tell you that, you know, when you were in Kajemi, Kahirita was saying this about you. He is not that type. If he has an issue with you, he will tell you directly, and you solve it. And I learned that from him. No backbiting. You just tell the truth. And you will not tell a lie. In fact, in my life, it is Kahirita and my wife, they never tell lies. She will always tell you the truth there. If somebody says, Kahirita said this and it's a lie, call Kahirita and ask him, and you will ask him, the fellow will disappear. That is Kahirita. He was honest. He was honest and truthful. He never minded the tribe. We called him, he tribalized Ugandans. No tribe, no religion, no party, political party, no status. Once you bonded with him, it is the way you work that matters, not where you come from, not what you do. So that we found him very easy to work with him. The other thing, he liked helping people. I will say something about it, but he liked helping people. I remember several occasions, he would come to me, you see, do you have fragments? We used to call it fragments. That's when he has no money at all. So, okay, I have only 20 here. You give him, but then you have given him, he's borrowing it for somebody who is worse off than us.
That is it. I said, but now he said, there's nothing at all. I said, no, God will give me. But this fellow here will go hungry, all his children. That is him. That is him that even his children may not have known, but he would borrow to help others. He would make sure that somebody who is in need and is able, he will try. If he's not, he then say, let me look around for fragments. So then I talked of fragments between us. I knew what he meant, and I would also go to him. It was not one way, it was both ways. To the extent that when we reached a certain level, we had now a bigger group where we could look at each other's welfare. Lord Bishop, just allow me to go through this speech because he asked for it, he told me I should read it again.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Congratulatory message to Mr. Christopher Kahirita upon your 80th birthday anniversary, Friday, 11th September 2020. My dear brother and friend, commonly known as Uncle Kahirita. My children call him Uncle Kahirita. Yes, you have made it this far, that not many of us may make it. Congratulations. In this short time, I call it short time, that we have been with you, we have come to appreciate your many qualities, your great human warmth, openness to people, unsettling way in which you give yourself to serve others, spending many hours with them, turning them around, trying to solve their problems in their families, workplaces, communities, or organizations, and their general care. Without forgetting your great task for truth, justice, and fairness, and of course, characteristic humor, laughter, and welcome to everyone as they come to your way, in your home and those in your office or workplaces. Our family has truly been blessed by meeting you. I'm sure there must be many of us here and others in families who will have reason to be highly indebted and grateful to God for having brought you into their lives. The years our two families have so far spent together have been very special, blessed, and formative. We are proud to be associated with you personally, your immediate family, and the greater family in Karushonga, Rukungiri, headed by Sir Geoffrey. I know you deeply love your family. You are very often given all for the sake of your family. The children can testify to that. I remember the many times in those days, in the 70s and the early 80s, when we went to Owino Market to buy foodstuff for our families every week. I remember every morning when we used to go to the farm to collect milk for our families. Milk was also a rare commodity. But we didn't tell you there was a farm. We would go there at 6, be there at 6 if you wanted to get milk. And we never failed. Mama here can testify. We never failed and we always got. I remember Nalongo and Nambi, she's late, at Namulanda, on Entebbe Road, we used to sell to us matoke, vegetables and fruits, or give us what we needed on credit when we were broke. You always did the talking, requesting for credit, because you had the skills. You had the skills to negotiate. At times you would have no cash because you gave your last coin to someone in greater need. I also remember weekends when we used to go to buy whole goats and beef at Avaita Babili, and all this was because of the love of our family. Your resolve to counseling, not counsel, but counseling, to mentor, to counsel, friendship, honestly, brought our two families closer. He was older than me, and you know, I was younger. Maybe I was a bit wild, but he was always pulling me back. I really say I am now here like this because of that, because of him. Your great family in Rukungiri, your wife and in-laws, plus your children and all of us here are blessed to have you as a son, a brother, a father, a grandfather, and a friend. You are a gift from God. Mr. Kahirita, our lives do not belong to us alone, but to all those who need us, and at times desperately. The people who have met, worked, and associated with have always left much of themselves with us. Your imprint is with our community in general and our entire family in particular. The friends and friendship we have made are for life. All these have been possible because of your generosity, selfless character, and the charisma that does not know status, age, tribe, religion, political affiliation, race, profession, and class. All are welcome to you. I personally know you as very honest and transparent in doing your work. And although very often broke, you never solicited for any bribe. If you were corrupt during your term of office as chairman in every municipal council, and you see in the book there, and in NSSF, you'd have grabbed many plots in the town and also got bribes to give jobs in NSSF. He didn't do that. He had no plot in Entebbe. The house he has was thanks to this government when they liberalized and asked sitting tenants to buy. Otherwise, both of us would have left Entebbe. And people would continue asking us, how did you mess out? He said, if I did that, maybe I would not be alive now. And that is the philosophy I want to teach the younger people now. You did not do it, you remained yourself and made us proud. You kept telling me, oh, boy, let's go with the little we get. You are a person of integrity, a model to emulate. I cannot end this speech without thanking your dear parents, Sir Geoffrey and his darling wife, who brought you forth to this world as a baby, nurtured you as a child, and now a great son. Firstborn children are not easy to parent. You must have given them a hard time, but also gave them good practice in the parenting method and style. Thank you, Sir Geoffrey. This was because he was with us that time. He was in Entebbe. Thank you, Sir Geoffrey, who is with us here, and your dear wife back home in Karushonga for a job well done. On behalf of the family gathered here, I thank God they are still alive to witness your 80th birthday anniversary. I also posthumously thank your uncle, Mzee Kamu, for nurturing you and grooming you into a principled, respectable, responsible, and active young man in politics. You also nurtured me in politics. At one time, we were running an office in Entebbe for one of the political parties, in which he has died in, and I'm still there. I thank Mama Mary. I believe these qualities made Mary not miss you. That's why she got married to you. I thank you, Mother Mary, for that. Friends and family, this speech would not be complete if I did not pay glowing tribute and gratitude to this darling Mary. God loving, Mary is God loving, God fearing, and respectable wife. Mary, thank you. She has for nearly half a century to date remained committed to her matrimonial vows, cared for you, prayed for you and us and the entire family, tolerated you, and made sure you looked and remained smart in all your ways, both at home, in your office, and in the society. Aunt Mary, neither your dear husband, your beloved children, nor any of us here can thank you enough for who and for what you are. We only thank and praise God for the gift of you. And now, Mary, Aunt Mary, you are taking position of both, and we know you can make it. The preacher here has said it. If Daddy is in charge, everything will be well. I also thank Lord Bishop. I also thank the children. These children of Kananasi, that was his other name. I thank the children for being children of good repute, diligent workers, committed to the call of their father as children and into the community. We have not had, like we hear, the so-and-so children were involved in this, were involved in this weed, they call it a weed something. None of them. They are girls and boys who are very respected. And that disease caught even my family. Because one time, some girl was driving around from medical stores. Then they said, oh, yeah, Kahirita. So that was, and it was another person selling chapati who was telling us that I thank the children for that. Your prayers, sense of responsibility, love and care for your dear parents here has made them live in good health to date. The children are very prayerful also, and that has helped even the parents to be healthy and caring. As a family, friends, we are very proud of you, Anita, and your team, your spouses, the grandchildren, and all in-laws. I thank God for the new technology that has enabled families to stay united. We are always happy to hear from and about you. Please keep it up. Congratulations upon reaching this great day, and thank you for all your contributions towards the celebrations. God bless you all and your endeavors. That was for the children, because as we were in Entebbe, those in Kigali, those in South Africa, were also witnessing. Our dear friend and brother, Orita, what I did say, in Tororo it's called Orita, and here I'm called Obombisha. So I once again congratulate you upon your 80th birthday. I thank God for your life, your dear family, for the love we have shared, and for all his blessings and favors. It is our prayer that God grants you and all your family members long life in good health. Happy birthday once again. Mary and our dear family and children, thank you for inviting us to celebrate this memorable day scientifically. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us thank him and rejoice in it. I also ask all those, as a human being, there are areas maybe where we may have gone wrong, short of God's glory. I ask those to whom Tofa may have offended, may have gone wrong, to forgive him and to pray for him. We should all remain praying for him, forgive him for those, whatever it is that he may have done to you. Just like I believe for him he used to forgive you, I have forgiven you. After harassing you on the wrong you have done. Then he said, but I've forgiven you, you can now go. That was his nature. So I also asked, we don't know where he may have gone wrong, forgive him, and to pray for him. I also asked that we remain praying for this family, praying for Mary and the children, and remain in support if we have been as if Tofa is still there physically with us. I know he's there, he's watching us, and he must be very happy. And like one of the children said, Dad is there blaming you for crying for him. Don't cry for me, pray for me. And rejoice that I was with you. I thank God for giving me this chance to say this in front of all of you and on behalf of all his friends. What I have said, I hope meets what you also had in mind about Christophe. There are very many whom he has helped, very many whom he has taken, given property, even land, even some vehicles on board. They are there. I could not mention them, but the little I have said about him, his honesty, integrity, and thirst for justice covers all that he has done for God and my country. Thank you very much. Christopher, may you rest in peace in the loving hand of your Creator. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ogo. I don't know what I'm going to say now. I was supposed to talk on behalf of the family about Tofa. You said it all. So I have to sit and rewrite another speech. But that is Tofa, the Tofa we all know. May he rest in peace. Now, our next speech will be from Mele, Kahirita.
She can remain seated. We are very few. No, she can remain seated.
Kama simwe, okumpamani gokwemerera hano nanye ntaha ntina amaani konka Mukama yambasiza yampa amaani nisaku sibura munywani wanje omwami wanje nyenda kusiima mwena Bishop n'abarevulandi nyenda kubasiima munonga okurisikinga kwija mukatushabira nitwetendeshara munonga tendeshara munonga mbwenu mwebale Bishop kweyija omuka yatuhumuriza yashanga twena nitutetema yatuhumuriza mwebale Mukama abongere imigisha ninyenda kusasira muzeeyi tatazara tari kuhurirage konka munywani wanje ko yagenze omutima gukaza hari muzeeyi n'omukikuru abire nakunda abazaire be mbwenu we abire atari kwekunda. My husband was selfless. He didn't care about himself. He cared for the parents and his family. Tukaba nimwe tumugambira bitu abwenshi utari kwefa. Itwe turya abana bakuzire ni mugambira abana bakuzire. They can take care of themselves. They are married.
why? Nitwe mukabani mugambira nitwe tuyo tukuzire. Let's take care of Mukikura and Mugurusi. And the children are big. Don't worry about the children. But he was not that type of a person. Niwe n'abana banje tubire tumwita our hero. Ahabwa ibintu bingi byo tutari kubasha kushobora. Has been here, our hero. We have lost a hero in our home. It is only God who knows how he's going to handle us. But when he fell sick, I was improving, for him he was not improving. So with the children, we started prayer and fasting. We would pray. I used to use Matthew 9, verse 35. How Jesus went healing the sick. I would ask God, go heal. The COVID is sick in all hospitals, and my husband too. Every day, that was the verse I was claiming. But on Saturday, I prayed for my husband. And I prayed for him. I would pray for him other times, and I see him. I see his face, from his face to down. This time, his face disappeared. I said, God, what is this? But not at any time did I think my husband was going. I don't know why I was so foolish like that. Then that Saturday night, I prayed up to morning. Then I came out of the kitchen. We would check, Samuel would check on the doctors in the morning at 8:30. So Samuel, when he checked, I think it's Charlie, our son-in-law, who went there in early morning, and they told him Daddy didn't make it. So Samuel came to me, said, Mommy, Daddy didn't make it. I said, no, Samuel. Who told you? Said, Mommy, it is true. It refused to register in me. I don't know why. I don't know why. We used to talk, to be joking, and he says, me, I talk to my God, and anything I ask him, he gives it to me. And I said, now what did you? Said, for me, I asked God that I go fast in this home. He said, I don't want to bury you, neither my children or my grandchildren. Now, he asked for it, and God has granted it to him. I'm not complaining, it is his time. Because we prayed. We really prayed and fasted. But this is what God has. His plans are not our plans, his ways are not our ways, and I give thanks. But I have told God, you have done this. God, you have to enable me to take care of my children. N'okutaya mukira omwami wange, we want to carry his all what he had planted in us. We ask God okutubaasisa tuleke kumuhemukira akakunda abazeere be. With God helping us, we are going to try to take care of Mugurisi and Mukeko. Akatwegesa kukunda abantu. We promise that we shall always love people. Akanyegesa okukunda abaana be. For him, he was helpless on children. He was selfless on children. I don't know if I will manage that, but I will love you, my children. I will keep Daddy's legacy. And please stand with me. Let's stand together. When we are together, nothing can come between us. As we have been a very humble family. Very, very humble. But we have been happy. Very, very, very happy. Tofa has been a wonderful husband. Very loving. He would do anything that I'd be happy. He has been a wonderful father. That's why he passed on Father's Day. He has done his job on earth. He's a retired civil servant who retired honorably. He was a sportsman who was being contacted by all corners. He worked for workers up to this time. I was telling him, we are old, leave all these things, and retire to a village. He said, yes, but the time, I will tell you. He has worked he loved his country, Uganda. He was a clean politician. He has been a wonderful person. When I was getting married to him, I was a Catholic. And then him a Protestant. Then I'm from Chisoro, the tribe. So my father sat me down and said, what do you want? You are going to marry a Protestant, and they are going to blame us and say we haven't brought you up well. Then very far away, are you going to manage? I said that I will manage. And I thank God he never let me down. He has gone as a good child in our home, loved by all relatives. And I thank God for that. The religion, I kept on being a Catholic for some time, until I would go to Catholic church, then the children go to Protestant, and I saw we were scattered. And I decided to come and join my family. And we started praying together, loving God. God started directing us together up to this day when he passed on. But when we celebrated his 8 years, it was during this time where you can't hold parties or what, and 50 years in marriage. So we decided to celebrate it in December in Mzei's church in Kalshonga. But now God haven't. This is what happened. But I'm still proud of my husband. I'm still proud that we finished 50 years without any scandal to our children or to the society of the Entebbe. In Entebbe, they call him senior citizen. And I thank God for everything. When I came to Protestant, I started being active, fellowship, and I got saved. And I thank God that I will continue standing for God. Even when this happened, I said, God, my husband has been buying everyone and he's not going to be married by all his friends. I started gathering a lot of things in my mind. But again, I came, when these children came, I said, let's repent, let nothing take us away from our God. Whatever happens, God knows why, but let's continue loving our God. And I trust with God naza kumbasisa, nza kubasa haruhanga, nza kubasa habwabana banje. I will not let you down. I will not let down his friends. Abashambo baramu banje mwena, I know you love me, and I love you all. Those who are not here, you just send them a message from me that I always feel at home in Bashambo family. And I am happy to be one of you. Thank you for what you have done, Chelsea and the team, Michael, Kagenzi, and all of you. Mwebale munonga, the reward is in heaven. Mwebale kutubasisa, kushendekereza munywani wanje, ishe w'abana banje in this manner. Thank you very much. For our friends who are not here, they have all called me. They have given us contributions, the labor movement, the meteorological people who are working with him. I thank you very, very much for respecting my husband and loving him. For Mr. Obo Ayin Omudisha and the wife Teresa, I don't know how I can thank you. These people, when we were sick, they were coming in the hospital without fearing. They would, I would be admitted in daytime, and Tofa would stay there overnight. So they would take me in the morning, bring me at night, after 9, every day for 1 week, without fearing that I can. I used to say, if you fall sick, I will never forgive myself. You would not even listen to me. I have never seen this love. This love is from heaven. God gave them to us as angels on earth. And Mr. Obo and your wife and your children, you shall ever appreciate everything you have shared together. I thank my relatives who didn't come. They have also sent messages. They have sent contributions. Like my sister here, she also didn't fear anything. She said, for me, I'm with you. And she's our last born. So, my dearest sister, I will be forever grateful to what you have done to me and my children. So children, let's stand together. Samir, now you are a man. So let's stand together. With God being our guide, we are going to manage. I thank you all very, very much. God bless you. God bless you richly.
Thank you, Mary. And Nsimarango wa command open. Ntakaya chiza. Banga tene chakupachakwe. Najua kuchukua sana pana nijua. Hati tutaza kugira a few messages. Three messages in longer, but some will be reading them in bits and pieces. Now we will read some. After the speeches, the children will come and do the speech. After the messages, sorry. And the girls, please, you ready?
Because these are messages for the family.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. I'm going to try and read through some very quick messages, the most important ones. We have messages from his nephews who are in Rwanda. These are our cousins, Paul and Patrick. They say, all my love and hugs to you, Uncle Tofa. We will always love you. Thank you for taking us in and raising us. We owe everything we have to your kindness. May God receive you and keep you always. There is no one who can compare to what you are. Uncle Obo summed it up occasionally well. You will always be in our hearts. Paul and Patrick Buchana. We have a message from Uncle Richard, who is not around. It's very difficult from a distance to find words to express the shock, pain, anguish with which we received the news of Tofa's tragic passing on Sunday morning, that we are unable to be by your side at this hour of utmost need has made our grief all the more difficult to bear. So Tofa was always there in difficult times when we needed him, and this was many times. However, we join you, the family, and Tofa's many friends in grief as you mourn his passing and honor his memory. We cling to the many happy memories of Tofa's love, laughter, friendship, and the virtues which he lived with until death. Behind his jokes and roaring laughter was a resolute, if not uncompromising man when it came to principles and values that helped him scale the heights of national and regional trade union movement, its destiny of his principled character and selfless service to higher ideals. I will continue this and finish it with the next group of them. We have from late Eric John Kakuta's family. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Kahirita and family, it's with sadness that we learn the passing of Mzee Christopher Mzee Wikaku, late Pasiria of Kevisoni, and our late dad Mzee Eric John Katakuza worked together in meteorological department, still under East African Community then. In their generation, Mzee Bikaku, still living, albeit in ailing health. We consulted a lot with Christopher Kahirita about our late father's times. We have lost our uncle. It's sad given the circumstances, but we can't be with you at this difficult time. We have this from Alexandra Kukunda and her children Jamie and Kuku. I'm heartbroken and cannot imagine what it's going to be like without Tofa in my life. Tofa was my eldest brother. He was my trusted friend, my confidant, a source of wise counsel about anything work-related and personal. Tofa was my constant. He was honest, kind, dedicated, loving, cared deeply for his family, his immediate family and extended. He stood by us and defended us against all odds. He stood by us through thick and thin. I'm at loss for words. Kuko and Jamie have vivid memories of spending weekends in Entebbe with uncle and auntie. We are inseparable from mom at a young age, but Uncle Tofa made it his mission to entertain us, so we didn't notice mom had actually stepped away and left. In the end, we had so much fun and we didn't want to leave. Over the years, he remained informed about our plans and career paths. He even made it to Kuku's Kugambo Bujeni in December, although he was not in the best of health after receiving surgery. He said, I couldn't miss this and had to make sure I got the all clear to attend. Thank you for being so present and constant. We'll miss your vibrant energy, awesome hugs, and hearty laughing. There's one more I was looking for. This is from Mr. Wilson Owere. He's from the he's the Chairman General of National Organization of Trade Unions. Good afternoon, family and friends of our fallen hero. I'm Asha Wilson Owere, Chairman General of National Trade Unions. I'll be in touch with NSSF to be delivering our condolences very soon. Canon Joram and I send you deep condolences on the passing of your dear relatives. Tofa Kahirita was a very good friend of Professor Jasi Kwesiga for many years. I knew him through Enid. We stand with the family in prayer and strength and courage and peace. May the Lord have mercy on all of us. There are many more, but I think I should stop there and continue to allow other speakers priority.
Bishop, and all the clergy here present, ladies and gentlemen, friends, families from all over the world, thank you so much for standing with us at this very trying moment. We thank you for coming, we thank you for contributing towards this, and we thank you generally for standing with us. Thank you, Bishop. Today when you came home this morning, we were really terrified. We didn't know where we were going to start from, but you prayed with us. You made us feel much better. You gave us a very, very touching sermon this morning, that's the reason why we are here standing. On Monday, when I spoke about Daddy in Entebbe, I said, where do you start from talking about such a person? He was large, he was big, he was special. Everything about him was incredible. So I said, maybe, do we start talking about his political life? Do we start talking about his life as a father, as a husband. It was so confusing, but we'll try to summarize it. Daddy, ever since we were children, he has been with us. Even up to now, when we are married, he's still bringing food, taking care of our children like they are his own. And God is the one who will reward him through all this. And we thank him for his ever-presence in our lives. Through thick and thin, advice, jokes. He was a comedian. He was a church person. He used to wear so many hats. We thank God for his incredible life that he lived. My sisters will talk more about him. I want to talk about his health and his sickness. When Daddy tested positive, things happened so fast that we could not. Before you do this, something else is coming. But then, when he fell sick, he went to. After doing his test and he went to a hospital in Entebbe called St. Louis. That's one of the best doctors in Entebbe. So he was hospitalized and given treatment. But then the next day, Dr. Makobole and the rest of the family decided that he goes and does a CT scan so that they know the direction of the whole treatment and everything. So he went to do a CT scan, and they found that his lungs were compromised and he needed specialized lung treatment. So he had to be moved from the hospital where he was for better treatment. He was taken then. We first got a problem getting a bed because Dr. Makobore had no space at all, and he kept saying, I don't want Daddy to come here. There's so many people here who are sick. Let's find. So with Uncle Charles, Sylvain, the whole group, they all started looking for beds. So we got a referral from a doctor at Nakasero Hospital who took us to a hospital where they were sending outpouring patients who needed ICU treatment. So they went to that hospital called Paramount. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, he kept on getting treatment, trying to eat, even sending signals. He was, of course, this is where we would stop to see him. The last I saw him was a wave through the ICU window. This disease is so rudimentary. You cannot be with your person. You cannot know how they are. You cannot nurse them to what you want. It is so rudimentary. We can't even be at home and have a service with our family and friends. Anyway, so on Friday morning, the nurse told me, he needs protein. You would have to bring milk. And I know Dad loved milk. So we took milk, and I took for him milk. And the nurse told me in the afternoon, by the way, Daddy, you can't imagine, Daddy finished that milk. So let's try to get something a bit heavier, and we see if we can take. So we prepared something too that evening. Still, they gave him, and he tried to eat. So on Saturday, I had a chat with the doctor. The doctor called me and said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm here." He said, "Okay, I'm waiting for you to come," and we talked. So we sat, and he told me, "Daddy Tarje, the fact that he's making signals and aiding himself to breathe, there is hope. There is hope that he's going to pull out." So even the doctors had hope. Even me, when people called me, I would say, "Daddy is improving slowly by the day." So we didn't think it was going to be that fast. So that was Saturday. On Sunday morning, as we were preparing to take for him his early breakfast, I saw a call from the hospital, but I just couldn't handle. I gave it to Charles. I gave the phone to Charles. I said, now you deal with these people, you will tell me exactly. But I continued preparing to take what was supposed to be taken. So his, the head of the ICU unit is the one who was talking to Charles. So he told him. But as he was talking to Charles, I kept looking at his reaction, but you know, he's naturally a calm person, so he was also confusing me. I didn't know whether it's sad news or good news, but he kept looking at me and talking. He said, okay, fine. So what do we do next? What do we do? So until he told me it's all over. So the first person we called was Samuili. I don't know how, his aunt was breaking the news, his aunt was picking my phones. I couldn't handle it. I just went and hid myself and started praying, especially for mommy. So that's how things happen. Events were too fast and too shocking and too... Anyway, but God at least let him get, because the doctor said medically he's getting everything. He even told me that all the medication he was taking, and he said the rest we leave to God, but medically he's in safe hands. Now next I want to thank people. I'd like to thank Dr. Makobole, who was the chief advisor of all the medical part of it. Dan was saying, do this, the other. I'd like to thank Dr. Chris of Nakasero Hospital and Dr. Tumwine, who's based in Mulago. Chris Karangwa is the one who enabled us to get an ICU. Dr. Chris Karangwa enabled us to get an ICU bed. Dr. Tumwine is a doctor at Mulago, but he part-times at that hospital. Samuel also had a friend at that hospital. He's a military doctor, but he also works there. Those people helped us. They could only do it, and they were so overwhelmed. We would see people in and out, people being stopped, ambulances being stopped. There is no space. So it was a very challenging time, but God has helped us. I want to thank our family, our Kagunga family, our Kisoro family. People have called, people have given money. There's nothing. My phone, Charles, all of them were about to be blocked because of receiving money. We want to thank the committee that organized this here. Uncle Michael, Uncle Kajenzi, and everyone, Auntie Anna, everyone, the bishop, of course, everyone who has taken part in this. We are totally grateful. The Kampala team, I don't even know where to start. Uncle Charles and all the family members. People used to call me by the hour, by the day, by the second. Everyone was concerned. Daddy's many friends, his diaspora relatives. We thank all of you. We can't name names, but God knows. We shall reach out to you personally. I want to thank my siblings. I want to thank God for bringing these people back to see Daddy off. Sandra and Brenda were stuck in Addis Ababa for 7 hours. We didn't think they would make it, but God made a way. Anita was in South Africa. She had to go through tests. She had to go through emotions. But God has enabled all of them to be here and mourn our dad. And thank my husband. Thank you so much. I wasn't going to handle. And all our cousins everywhere, all our cousins, we thank you. You've been there for us. I think let me stop here. If I forgot Uncle Stephen went to the hospital. He received Daddy's body. Thank you so much. Charlie, I don't know where to start from.
speak about Daddy. My name's Sandra Nakato Kahirita Chirenga. I would like to thank all of you who managed to come to give my dad a mighty send-off during this tough time. Daddy was a kind, honest, caring, and generous man. But most of all, Daddy was a great husband to Mommy. The Bible says that we must love your wife like Christ loved the church. My siblings and I were privileged to see that firsthand in our home. Daddy loved Mommy. He cherished her. He treated her like a queen. He put her first. In front of us, there was no one who would say anything about Mommy. Mommy, in turn, was so awesome, so calm, so virtuous. She was such a wife to him till the end. I remember this last time that I was in Entebbe last year. We slept so much, and then I woke up. I heard somebody in the kitchen. I was like, who is this in the kitchen at 6? And then when I woke up, it was Mommy cooking eggs for Daddy because Daddy had an early meeting. I found her cooking for him eggs. Then she brought the eggs, and then they sat together, and then they conversed. When I heard that Daddy died, my heart broke for myself, but most of all for Mommy, because she did not only lose her husband, but she lost her friend. One that they would watch news together, read the newspaper and change. She gives him monitor, he gives her New Vision, then they look at each other and they watch the news, then they eat food, then they decide, okay, now let's go and sleep. As in, I don't know how. Anyway, God said that he's the husband to the widows. So he'll be Mommy's husband. I want to thank my parents for raising us in a warm home. They may think that they did not give us much, but the most important thing they gave us was the foundation of loving God, unity, and discipline. Daddy was the greatest father ever. He loved each one of us uniquely. He personalized everybody's love, making them think that they were all his favorites. When you ask me, I think I'm his favorite. When you ask Anita, she thinks Loretta thinks she's his favorite. When Sandra is coming from Kigali, he has to make sure there is rice. Sandra, mwaguteka. Then when it's Anita coming, have you bought for Anita kabalagala? If it's Loretta, Enyamayarita. As if everybody had we all felt like we were only children because of the way he managed to just divide that love so equally. Daddy loved his parents so much. He loved Mugurusi with all his heart. He would lay down his life for Mugurusi. Everything was Omugurusi, Omugurusi. You call him, you ask him, Daddy, how are you? He's like, I'm fine. Omugurusi tiaria, Mukikuru is this and this. His life was about the love that he had for his parents has challenged us, and we ask God to help us to keep up that love. Daddy loved his grandchildren so much. They were always in Entebbe playing with him. He would eat lollipops with them. He would buy for them sweets. He was always just so happy to be there for his grandchildren. Daddy was so tough. He was so tough and strict, we feared him. I remember every time he did something, he would go and get a stick and beat Brenda, and then Brenda would be the executor. Bring the stick and tell that they beat them, they have done this, and then he would beat you and beat you. I just wish he would beat me one more time, just so I can know he's around. So Daddy loved everyone. He opened his home to people from all walks of life, our friends, his in-laws, everybody. The house was always full of people. I would like to thank Daddy's friends, Uncle Obo. Uncle Obo, I have no words to thank you because I don't know. Only God. Captain Bagamba, Bikako, those are a few of the friends that I was also close to because of Daddy. I want to thank you so much for loving Daddy until the end. I want to thank the Karikahos, the Chitaburazas, the Bamwangas, Auntie Nosi. I would like to especially
thank the people in Kigali who helped Brenda and I when we had just received this news. Auntie Jolie Mazimhaka, Uncle John, Stephen Kinyuka, and my in-laws in Kigali who helped to hold my hand, and my husband Joseph who tried to make this time less painful for me. To my siblings, Anita, Brenda, Loretta, Rita, Samuel, Allen, Cassidy, Pole, Baba, everybody who went through the home. I'm so happy that we have each other and we love and treasure each other. Thank you all for what you have done. And thank you so much, those that were filling in the gap when we were not here. Mommy, you will remain the queen in your castle. Don't you worry. Your castle will remain, and we shall modify it and make sure that you do not feel the gap of Daddy. Daddy used to treat you like a queen. Nobody would say anything about you, and you will remain happy as long as God gives us life to look after you. To my brother Samuel, I really don't know how you managed these past weeks from 7th June to the time when Daddy passed on. You have been a rock. You stood in the gap when all the girls were falling apart. We thank you for being you. I remember when I was in Kigali, I rang you some night and you were in the ambulance and I could hear the siren. And I was like, how is somebody handling all this? And then you just gave us so much hope. I ask God to anoint you for this role as you step into Daddy's big shoes. You will bring great Samuel. What Daddy wanted to do, you will do it. Where he did not reach, you will go far and beyond. And now I want to, much as it's so hard, I want to release my dad to God. Because if I don't know if I'll manage life. Daddy, you did your part and more. I release you into the arms of God. And I hope that you will be proud of us. We shall continue the good work you started. You did your part, and now it's time for us to do ours. Thank you, everybody.
The bishop and the clergy, fellow mourners, I'm called Ramon Charles. I tried to remember about 3 things which I wanted to pick very fast. I've heard they are talking about Mzee, we commonly call Grandpa. Grandpa's love. I've never seen that kind of love. 100% love. The first thing when I got the news, I held firm. I didn't want to tell the children. I called Samuel, I told my wife, then I moved out to go and start other things. And when I came back home, after the running around the hospital, my wife had told the children, and they were all running away from me. They didn't want to see me because he had completely spoiled them. Now I could see the fear. Where will they go to have that kind of love? Every whole day they go to Entebbe. At one time, I kept wondering. I said, how can Grandpa spoil these kids to this level? You find he has taken them to the zoo. You find he has taken everywhere. That kind of love was above. Then he would come to the village. When he comes to Rukungiri, a call, Charlie, where are you? I have brought food for my children and your family. Come and pick it. And I would say, but we have, he says, in Kampala you don't have gardens. You come and pick. And I'll find food there. I could not. When I received the news, I was so disheartened. My father is around 87 years now. When I joined the Kahirita family, only to find Grandpa had worked with my dad. My dad was in Kasese as an engineer. Here I'm moving. And Grandpa was working there as a meteorologist. So they knew each other very well.
Each time he would call me, be 10 o'clock in the night. Charlie, are you watching this program? We watch the program together. Hey, you are just enjoying. Now, I was asking God, why? Because we had made our program for December. December we had organized the program with one of the last born, Seth Kabuzi. They had the way they used to link together. He was at my place in Kampala, and I was escorting them. I found Grandpa with Seth. He said, for us we're in a meeting here. I said, what meeting is this? He said, you first wait. Then when they finished, he said, you see, now we are planning to go to Rukungiri. And this is the program. But Seth is saying, now let Olime also get his holidays. Then we all come. That is the kind of man now we are saying goodbye. Then another thing I found in him, which I want to testify, is that he was a Rotarian. A Rotarian in the sense that they have their motto, service above self. I remembered one incident when Pesh disappeared mysteriously, one of the niece. It really worked him up. He called me, we went to his office, Uganda House, we sat, we laid strategy. It really worked him up, and he was telling me, what do I have to tell the parents of this girl that their daughter has disappeared in Kampala? But thank God, 2 months down the road, Pesh was found. I'm talking about Pesh Kahirita. It really worked him. I could see somebody was put all his effort. We went to offices, different offices, and I would say, Charlie, how do I tell my brother that the daughter disappeared in Kampala? That is the kind of man that even he forgets himself and he goes deep to serve somebody. I have nothing much to say. May he so rest in peace.
Our dear family and friends, I'm the big girl in the house. I'm Anita. Heard about death. We know about death. But for some reason we thought our dad was immortal. We thought he would never die. Like the death of him never ever occurred in any of our minds. I want to talk to Daddy about Daddy in different capacities. I'm sorry, I will take a few pauses, but I really need to say this. I'll tell you about Daddy the husband. I used to call him Sir Christopher because he calls his father Sir Geoffrey. So I call him Sir Christopher. So Sir Christopher the husband. Mommy, I have seen blessed women. But you are blessed. You were blessed, and even the blessed called you blessed because of your husband. Like Sandra said, you were his queen, and you will forever be his queen. He loved you with all his heart, with everything that he had. Daddy made you wish you were married. I thank God that he lived each and every one of his vows. And I thank God that it was not one way. He was your king. You respected him, you loved him. And I pray that even now that he's not there, that love that he built, that strong foundation of love, forever live in your heart. and that you will know that you never made any mistake choosing him and supporting him till Sunday. Next, I'll talk about Sir Christopher the Father. Sandra just said he treated each of us differently and we all thought we were his favorite. That's very true. Daddy loved us. We know that every child says their parents love them. Daddy loved us in the real sense of the word. He loved us, and he loved us. Every one of us, he has participated in every event of our life, the marriage, the birth of a child, everything. He's gone through it with us. I remember when I just moved to South Africa, he used to call me every day at 6 and say, I'm told that country is not very safe. Are you at home? Are you back at home? And I would say, yes, Daddy, I'm at home. But you don't really have to call every day. He said, no, it's okay. Daddy loved us. He made us laugh. He made being a child like the most worthy of adventure ever. Loretta, who is not able to stand here with us because she broke her leg, said I should say that Daddy was her best friend. I could say the same. Brenda could say the same. Somebody could say the same. But Daddy was our forever, and he will be our forever BFF.